For the first time in 6 years, jet engines roared as top pilots in the country streaked across the skies of East Tennessee. The 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show celebrated the spirit of aviation. Across 2 days, tens of thousands of people walked the flight line and spent hours taking in the sights on the ground and staring at the show in the sky. Tonight, the people, planes, and stories helping shape a memorable East Tennessee weekend. The sights and sounds of the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show starts now. And welcome to a recap of the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show along with Beth Haynes. I'm John Becker.
And John, what a sight to see for the thousands who came from all over the country to witness a one-of-a-kind spectacle in the sky.
We have seen months of preparation for a massive two-day event. We want to take you to the skies right now and show you some highlights of a spectacular show. In all, 7 acts took to the sky, showing off their talents from this plane to the Blue Angels, and we had rotor planes to jets. 6 of those Blue Angels in the sky at one time. And Beth, one combat pilot told me flying upside down like that is one of the hardest tricks they do.
I imagine so. It looks difficult, but amazing to see in the sky. The main attraction of the air show were the world famous Blue Angels, of course. We continue the conversation now. The video shows some of the tricks they performed in front of thousands.
What an extraordinary sight to see again. 6 in the skies. They're flying, Beth, at just under Mach 1, about 700 miles an hour, pulling G's. You and I pulled maybe 4 G's on a roller coaster ride. At times, they're pulling upwards of 7 or 8, so double what we would do on the ground.
All while maintaining that Blue Angel formation.
Extraordinary. They are precision flyers. And
planes are capable of flying 1,400 miles per hour. Now, the support plane, let's talk about it. The C-130 Fat Albert cruises at about 375 miles per hour. Ahead of the air show, the Blue Angels told us it's all about the teamwork to make the magic happen.
Yeah, trust is absolutely the foundation of what our team has built. No doubt about it. To be able to do what we do, to trust our maintenance folks to prep the jets, so when we walk out in that flight demonstration, we know they're perfect. To know that everybody is absolutely synchronized.
Now, among this year's team was a pilot from right here in Tennessee.
Our own 10 News meteorologist, Mike Witcher, he knows a thing or two about aviation.
He sure does, and he shares the story of chasing a childhood dream right here in East Tennessee.
I just love seeing airplanes in the sky. Every airplane that flies overhead, I'm always looking at it, so I've always had a fascination. Once I got up in the cockpit and started flying, I just love the freedom that you get. It took me about 6 months to get my license. However, it could have been a lot faster than that, but COVID happened, stuff like that. So I was kind of in the middle of the whole COVID thing when I finally did it. But that's the thing, before COVID happened, you know, I finally looked at my wife one day and said, this is something I have to do. Like, I have to do it. I had a buddy that was getting ready to go start taking lessons and stuff. And I finally was just like, I've had this passion for so long, I've got to do it. I try to fly several times a month. I mean, if you know, life happens. I'm a dad. I've got 2 kids, construction projects, moving, this, that, and the other. Always something seems to get in the way, but you got to make it a priority. I try to fly. My goal would be to fly once a week. I think meteorology is everything. You're in the elements right there. Also, being a meteorologist, it has given me a different insight on being a pilot and flying every single day. You get to see the clouds in a different perspective that most people don't get to see from the ground. You get to experience the wind that I talk about, but in a different form and fashion. You know, but weather is everything. Every flight you take, before you even leave the ground, you're always looking at the weather. I think if you have any interest at all in aviation, if you're the type of person that, like, every time an airplane flies up overhead, you're always looking, I'd say do it. If it's a passion, do it. Find a way to save the money. Start saving now. There's so many different avenues and ways to do it. Yes, it's costly, like anything new that you're going to learn to do. But there are clubs, there are people around airports. Go to an airport, talk to the people. but I would say the number one thing is do it, because life is short.
Captain Mike Witcher and his bride. And as we head to break, we look at some of the incredible sights. Yes, those Blue Angels and lots of others soaring high this weekend, inspiring young people to pursue their own dreams of piloting those planes. Our continuing coverage of the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show right here on Channel 10. We're back with you in minutes.
I had a great airline career, retired from Delta Airlines.
That is Jimmy Fordham, a pilot for the Aeroshell team. They were having a blast in the air, certainly showing off all sorts of tricks. The Aeroshell acrobatics are based in Birmingham, Alabama, but performers live all over the country. They have the same moves as Blue Angels, but in a World War II era propeller plane. And pilots have about 25 years experience flying. These planes fly much lower than jet planes like the Blue Angels, so they're right in front of the crowd.
As a team, we approach it from, we have never flown a perfect air show. And today, we're going to go out there and we're going to try to fly that perfect air show. That air show that has zero mistakes.
The move for the Aeroshell team is the smoke system. because these planes put out a lot of smoke and fly very low.
Another performer showing off some different stunts, these guys, the Golden Knights, the Army's Golden Knights. They're the parachute team, started in 1959 and 62. They coined the nickname Golden Knights, and here's why. Golden signified the gold medals the team had won. Knights alluded to the team's ambition to conquer the skies. The Golden Knights have conducted more than 16,000 shows across all 50 states. Team members have also broken 348 world records. They can drop it on a dime, too, sticking the landing there at the 50-yard line. Those were the Golden Knights parachuting into the Alcoa Maryville game ahead of the Friday night football action. Lieutenant Colonel Andy Moffett is the commander of the Golden Knights. He is also an East Tennessee native and a 1996 graduate of William Blount High School.
Want to take another look at the planes and pilots that made the spectacular air show possible. Young ones hopping aboard to get a glimpse of pilot life. Those planes soaring through the skies, ready to put on their best performance yet. We are continuing our coverage of the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show right here on Channel 10. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Traffic on WBI.
And on the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show, we want to spotlight some leaders in aviation right here in East Tennessee. They impact you even if you don't fly. Almost 2 million people fly into McGee Tyson Airport every year, and a lot of them on big airliners.
But how about this? East Tennessee also a hub for smaller general aviation aircraft as well. Here's reporter Vinay Simlat.
Jeff Smith is passionate about flying, so much so he's building his own airplane. It's the hobbyist pilots like Jeff who propel East Tennessee's aviation economy.
There's probably more aviation-related business here in East Tennessee than most people realize.
Cirrus Aircraft is one of the largest general aviation manufacturers. They specialize in single-engine airplanes. All of their customers have to come through McGee-Tyson Airport to pick up their aircraft.
You'll probably spend, 3 to 5 days in the community
And learn how to use it. Cirrus says its customers spend 4,000 nights in East Tennessee hotels every year. That's about 10 customers every day.
Staying in the hotels, eating in our restaurants, participating in some activities locally.
Cirrus isn't the only one. One of the largest helicopter companies customizes its aircraft in Upper East Tennessee. And PS Engineering makes aviation electronics. They're headquartered in Lenoir City.
And these are all pretty significant players in their own niche inside the aviation industry.
From aircraft carrying 1 to 2 passengers to hundreds, the state of Tennessee says McGee-Tyson brings about $2 billion to the economy every year.
So when you order an Amazon package or a shirt from another organization, then it's being delivered here.
The airport's authority says aviation is vital to making our economy soar.
Again, the airport brings so much, especially general aviation, and certainly those pilots who fly for fun, who are boosting East Tennessee's economy. And if you're buying a plane, I don't know if you're looking, John, it's not cheap. The people coming into town can afford to spend their money here.
I'll fly on yours.
Yeah.
The air show also a
Be my
terrific
wingman.
opportunity for recruiting the National Guard doing so. This year, they're hoping to inspire more people to join their community. The 134th Air Refueling Wing did achieve recognition this year as the #1 Air National Guard unit in the country. Also, more than 800 people joined the Tennessee Air National Guard since the last air show in 2016. That is quite a figure. Now, the pilots of the 134th fly around the world helping refuel planes in midair. This goes for the crews as well. Those Knoxville-based tankers help support combat missions, training missions, and on any given day, you'll see those massive refuelers in the skies above East Tennessee. Another unit based at McGee.
So folks, they want to come and be a part of something that is the best of the best, the best Air National Guard unit.
They are a terrific unit, again, receiving the Best Unit in the Country award this year. Another unit based at McGee-Tyson Airport is the first of the 230th Assault Helicopter Battalion. In 2016, those combat veterans transitioned from the Kiowa Warrior helicopter to flying Blackhawks, and now they fight wildfires across the region, rescue people from floodwaters. They did so in Kentucky recently, also called on every few weeks to pluck injured hikers out of the Smoky Mountains. That is a look at what it's like to be in one of those 134th Air Refuelers.
And that's what it's like to fly it, apparently. Incredible. High energy there, certainly. We've been making reference, though, throughout the special as we look back at the 2016 Smoky Mountain Air Show. You can tell then it was a lot of fun. We were there and experienced it as well. More than 100,000 people came out. Again, 6 years ago, the first air show here in East Tennessee.
They're still working on the numbers for this year. We'll pass them on as soon as we get them. This year's air show also had a very special guest on hand. The oldest naval aviator captain in the country, at least one of them, Jack Galuli. He served in the Second World War and now lives in the Smoky Mountains. He says some of his favorite memories were being a part of the naval aviator community and looking for submarines.
I served on a cruiser during World War II, and we were dive bombed by kamikazes. But I just made a decision. If I was going to stay in the Navy, I was not going to be down here. I was going to be the guy up there doing the bombing.
Guest at the air show this year of the Blue Angels. He's about to turn 102, and we certainly appreciate his service.
Incredible. Again, we're waiting for those final numbers from this year's air show, but we do know thousands upon thousands made their way to Blount County.
Reporter Chris Lucas shows us how an event like this helps the local economy.
The last time the air show was in town, it was 2016. More than 50,000 people came to the area to see the Blue Angels, and all the visitors had a positive impact on the local economy. Jeff Muir from Blount Partnership says he expects this year the impact to be even bigger.
The last time it was here, just in hotel motel tax alone, we saw over $500,000 increase between one year to the next, and we expect that probably to be close to double.
The air show is here in Alcoa, but many people will explore downtown Knoxville when they're in the area.
And you bring that many people into the region, they're going to always be looking for new and exciting things to do.
Those fun things actually help the community.
Tourism helped save citizens in this community $700 in taxes, and so having this event on top of the regular stuff is definitely going to help boost that going forward.
Here's how. When tourists come and spend money in our area,
money that they pay in addition to their lodging fees helps increase the tax base, and it spreads it out over a lot more people, and that way residents don't have to cast with the burden of paying all the taxes.
So when events like the air show draw big crowds, it may mean a little more traffic and busier restaurants, but it helps fund local economies in the long run.
Before we head to break, another look at the planes as they soared to new heights and put on a performance to remember. Fun event for the family at the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show. What an amazing few shots, and those, I believe, from photographer David Rayburn. He's a whiz with a camera.
Today, a look back at the 2022 Smoky Mountain Air Show.
Here is digital storyteller William Winnett with the sights and sounds from that memorable weekend. What a show. Even when you see it in person, you can't believe what you're seeing. One of the great things about having the Blue Angels and the other acts in town, Beth, is people across East Tennessee can hear and see them. Even if they're not at the air show, we saw so many people capturing them in their backyards.
Yeah, I saw pictures, video on social media, people enjoying the show, certainly. And what a memorable experience, especially for children and all the families that shared it together.
This show also benefits the Boys and Girls Club and Second Harvest. So anybody who paid for parking, your money is going to a good cause that will help local organizations that do a lot of good across East Tennessee.
Yeah, and if you want to see more of our coverage, certainly visit WBIR.com as well as our YouTube channel. All of our stories, content located there digitally.
Our hats off to our servicemen and women for pulling it off. We'll see you soon here on Channel 10.
Hey, East Tennessee, it's Chad.